Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's show, please do me a small favour. Make sure to drop a like on today's episode and be sure to subscribe. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Real Sociedad game this evening. 5:45 UK time kickoff. Must-win game for Manchester United. If we lose this, do we have much confidence in taking them back to Old Trafford? Not really. Even if we win tonight, I think going back to Old Trafford, anything could happen. So we need to go out there. We need to put in a convincing performance, clean sheet, couple of goals, and I think then confidence will start to build in the fan base. But I have a question for you, and what's the score predictions for this game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. We have got the confirmed travelling squad for this game, so we will start the show off by talking about that. There are some quite big absentees, which is so disappointing. It just seems to be one issue after issue for Manchester United at the moment, doesn't it? So we have the confirmed travelling squad. Obviously, Chido Obi wasn't registered in time, which is terrible. Also, Manuel Ugarte is out and Maguire is out. So this is our team. So we've got Onana, then we've got two backup goalkeepers. Defence-wise, some people are going to like this. We've got Harry Amas, which is exciting. Harry Amas is definitely with the travelling squad. You've also then got Dalot, De Ligt, Dorgu, Aiden Heaven, Lindelof, Mazraoui and Yoro. So we've got a lot of defenders. That's, I guess, positive. Midfielders, Casemiro, Collier, Eriksen, Bruno. Attackers, Garnacho, Højlund, Xerxes, and then the rest of it is all youth players. So in relation to my predicted lineup, let's do that really, really quickly. So I imagine it will obviously be Onana in goal. Left wing back will be Dorgu. Right wing back, I think will be Dalot. Defensive three, I imagine it will probably be De Ligt, Mazraoui, and Lenny Yoro. Maybe Lindelof gets a sniff just because of the experience, maybe, but I don't think so personally. I think it'll be De Ligt, Yoro and Mazraoui. Midfield, I think it will probably be Casemiro and Bruno. And then attack, it will be Garnacho, Højlund, Xerxes. So it doesn't sound awful on paper, but then when you look to our bench, it's literally just youth players. And Chido Obi isn't even one of those youth players. It's going to be difficult. Real Sociedad are a good team. They've got good players. They have been struggling as well this season, though, so they're not in great form. They're mid-table. They're 10th in La Liga. They just got beat 4-0 by Barcelona on the weekend, so they're not in a great run of form, but they have got some good players. We obviously know about Zubimendi. He's a quality player, supposedly moving to Arsenal in the summer. They've also got... Who else do they have? There's a couple of other players that are really good at... they've got that Kubo guy, the right winger. He's quality. They've got some experience as well, so it's not going to be an easy match. I don't know. I really don't know what to predict here. Obviously, Real Sociedad are very good at passing. They're very good at keeping the ball. We know what the Spanish teams are like. They're technical, whereas we're not like that at all. I personally would just sit deep and hit on the counter-attack because I don't think they'll actually create that many chances. I mean, we'll probably be sat here this evening and we'll have lost 5-0 or something, but I don't think they'll create that much chances. I just think they'll have a lot of possession, and I think we just have to not concede and then try and take a chance, and we could get something out of this game. You know, this isn't a game where we're going to go toe-to-toe with them. They are elite defensively and elite with the ball, but just not amazing going forward. Sorry if the video's glitching a little bit. I can see a message popping up saying that the video's glitching. Not sure what's happened, but anyway, get your comments in about the score prediction. Let me know. I'm going to go... I'm going to go 2-2. I think a draw. Again, I think Manchester United will probably have to play a little bit different to what Ruben Amorim wants. Well, I hope we do anyway. I hope that we just maybe go a little bit more defensive, because I'm just not convinced that we're going to be able to outplay them. I might be wrong, though. Who knows? We'll see. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Obviously, it's a 5:45 kickoff, so I will be live after the game is normal. That will be at about, I'm just trying to work it out, so probably be about 7 o'clock I'll be live. for the match reaction. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we've got a win under our belt. Hopefully we've got something to take to the second leg at Old Trafford. So yeah. Right. What else have we got to talk about today? Let's move on from that though. Let's move on to Giovani Kender. So the reports coming out this morning are suggesting that Manchester United are preparing a £25 million bid for Giovani Kender. Obviously, he is 17 years of age. We know all about him. Plays for Sporting Lisbon. Widely regarded as one of the most exciting young Portuguese players coming through. Will 25 million be enough? I'm not sure. I think it sounds like a relatively small amount of money, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. How does everyone feel about that? 25 million for Giovani Kender. Apologies if my video is lagging a bit. I can see on my screen it looks a bit laggy, but it's annoying. I have tried to improve it, but it's just sometimes it's just badly behaved. There will be a lot of interest in this Giovani Kender guy, but supposedly Manchester United have already expressed interest and the player has already said he wants to come to Manchester United. So hopefully that puts us in a little bit of an advantage. But at the same time, I just don't see why they would accept 25 million for one of their prized assets. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. But maybe I'm wrong. It's just a prediction. I think that they're going to want closer to 50 million. That's more of his market value. You know, he is widely regarded as one of the most exciting young players coming through at the moment. And he has bags of potential. But what I will say is this. Manchester United need to value him at his actual price and not at the price he could be worth in 5 years. Because we've done that too many times in the past. We did that with Anthony and we got burned. And again, it's not something that we should be doing, you know? And I know that sometimes you have to pay for potential, but I think at the moment we need to make sure that we're getting these players for the fair price. And I think 25 million is probably not going to be enough. I think he's definitely worth more than that. But as soon as you start getting close to 50 million, like you're expecting somebody who can come and start for the first team immediately. And I'm not convinced that a 17-year-old, I know age is just a number with some players. I know, you look at Lamine Yamal, who is 16 or 15 when he was playing at the Euros and was one of the best players. But he is 1 in a million or 1 in 100 million, you know? So yeah, that's my take on that. But let me know, do we think that Giovani Kender is the right option for Manchester United? Do you think 25 million will be enough to get that deal done? I'm not convinced. Let me just see where the story came from. It's been quite widely reported this morning. I think it was on Sky Sports as well. Yeah, it's on Sky Sports. It says Manchester United are set to make an offer of around 25 million for Giovani Kender. I mean, if it was 25 million plus 25 million in add-ons, I think that would be all right. 50 million total package, and if he reaches the potential that Sporting think he will, then we give them 50 million total. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. It's just, we're taking a massive risk. We're bringing in a player who is, I don't think he's even been capped for Portugal yet. Let me check. Might be wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's 17 years of age. He does turn 18 in a couple of weeks, to be fair. Yeah, he's never played for the Portuguese national team. On Transfer Market, which is usually quite reliable and doesn't usually inflate transfer fees, it says that he's worth about 30 million euros. So maybe 25 million is fair. Maybe that is a reasonable price. He does only have 2 years left on his contract as well. So Sporting will obviously make 100% profit on this deal because they didn't pay a transfer fee for him. But yeah, let me know. Is there somebody else that you've got in mind? Let me know your thoughts. Really interested to see what you guys have to say about this one. So yeah, let me know. Right, let me just have a little sip of my tea. Whilst I'm sipping my tea, everybody who's watching, please like the video. Please like the video. We've got over 100 people and we only got 30 likes. So if everyone likes the video now, whilst I just have a little sip of my tea, I would be very, very much appreciated. Somebody says, you guys underrate Manchester United's team. Do you think Real Sociedad are better than us? Yeah, 100%. 100%, I would say. Most teams are better than Man United at the moment. Somebody said, did Dorgu travel? Yes, he did. Dorgu did travel, so that's positive. Joseph says, who is your starting 11 for the game tonight? Do you mean, who do I think Ruben Amorim will pick, or who would I pick? Let me know, and I'll answer the question either way. I've already said who I think Ruben Amorim will pick. I said that a couple of minutes ago, but I'm happy to give you my desired lineup. In fact, I'll just do it. I'll do it. So if I was the Manchester United manager, which I'm obviously not, I would pick this lineup. I would do Onana in goal because Bayern is injured, and the other two goalkeepers I've never heard of, Dermot Mee and Eli Harrison. They're two youth goalkeepers. Tom Heaton's injured as well, so we haven't got any senior backup goalkeepers. So Andre Onana is the goalkeeper. I would do Patrick Dorgu at left wing back, definitely. My three centre backs, I would go with De Ligt, I'd go with Lenny Yoro, and I'd go with Mazraoui. For the midfield, this might be a little bit controversial. I would go Casemiro and Toby Collier as my two kind of holding midfielders. And then for the front three, I would go Bruno and Xerxes as the two cams. And I would put Garnacho as a false nine. The thing is, right, and people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Garnacho gets himself in good positions, takes people on, and shoots. Put him in the false nine position. He's not going to pass the ball. There's no point putting him in one of the central attacking midfielder positions where he's supposed to be a playmaker because he doesn't pass the ball. So I would put Garnacho as the false nine tonight. Højlund hasn't scored in like 20 games. Chido Obi had more shots in the game against Fulham in the FA Cup than I can remember in Højlund has in the last 10 or so games. Like, I just think Højlund's confidence is so low that I just don't see the point in playing him, really. So just to go through that again, obviously you can let me know if you disagree or agree. Onana in goal, Patrick Dorgu at left wing back, De Ligt, Mazraoui and Lenny Yoro as your defenders. Right wing back, I'm doing Dalot. I'm doing Casemiro and Toby Collier as the two kind of number sixes, the defensive midfielders. I think that solidifies our midfield. Toby Collier's got the legs, Casemiro's got the experience. I quite like that balance. And then the front three, I would do left attacking mid would be Bruno Fernandes. Right attacking mid would be Joshua Xerxes. And my striker, my false nine, whatever you want to call it, would be Alejandro Garnacho. I quite now the more I keep repeating the team names, the team list, I actually quite like the sound of that. Will it happen? Probably not. It's probably going to be Højlund starting. He'll probably get substituted at the 60th minute. He'll look frustrated. But that's what I would do. And I'd be really interested to get your guys' opinions on this. Like, how do you feel about what I've just suggested? A midfield two of Ugarte and Casemiro. That brings solidity. I mean, it's a lot of defensive players, to be fair. Because in theory, then, you've got... How many defensive players would that be? That would be 7 defensive players out of 11. Well, 8, actually, because the goalkeeper's defending, technically, isn't he? So that is a very defensive team. I guess Dorgu's attacking. So let's say 7. I mean, Maguire, yeah, it's 7 defenders, isn't it? Because you've got Toby Collier, Casemiro, Dalot, De Ligt, Lenny Yoro, Mazraoui and Onana. So 7 of your 11 players would be defensive. But I think that would then mean that obviously Bruno Fernandes can push further up the pitch. Joshua Xerxes, I think, looked better in the last few games. And I honestly think there is no harm in putting Garnacho as that false nine. He's got the pace. He's got the skill. We can hit on the counter-attack with him. So, yeah, I would do that. But I'd be very interested to see what you guys all think about that, because I know some people are going to probably be like, what the hell are you talking about? Joseph says, your lineup sounds great, mate. Yeah, I quite like it. Stephanie says, Rasmus will start, but Garnacho as a false nine might be a shout. Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? It's probably not going to happen, but I think it would be worth a try. I think it would. Stefan says, Kieran, have you seen any of Kender recently? Ever since Amorim left, his form has dipped. I have not. Thank you for bringing that into the chat. I did not know that. So, yeah, very much appreciated. That's very interesting. Joseph says, does Onana frustrate you when he delays the play? He frustrates me more than you can imagine, Joseph. It literally drives me crazy. More so than his mistakes. Again, this might be controversial, but you are 100% right. His inability to start an attack when we have a break drives me crazy. And there's so many times where I'm looking and I'm like, we could literally be on the counter-attack now. And he's kind of like stood there like dancing around, like pretending to throw the ball to people. And then by the time he actually throws the ball, all of the opponents are back in their position. And we just then pass it to Maguire, who pass it back to Onana, who then kicks it long. It happens every game. And it honestly drives me crazy. And I think that's actually worse to his game than the mistakes, because we signed this guy, Andre Onana, because he was a ball-playing goalkeeper. And I've seen absolutely nothing so far in a year and a half that makes me think he's a ball-playing goalkeeper, other than the fact that he sometimes comes off his line and kind of stands on the halfway line when we've got the ball. That's like it. He's okay with his feet. Most of the time he kicks it long. Quite a few of the times when he gets passed back the ball, he looks kind of scared and he kicks it long. Like I just don't understand it. Fun Show says, how can we play Garnacho as a false nine? I mean, the alternative is Rasmus Højlund, who hasn't scored a goal in 20 games. My logic is, I don't think Højlund should play because he doesn't offer anything. He doesn't score, he doesn't assist, he doesn't link up play, he doesn't open spaces. So we want to get our best players on the pitch, right? In whatever position it might be. So in that front three, if you had Bruno, Xerxes and Garnacho, those are our three best players at the moment. None of them are performing particularly well, but they are our three best attackers. So, yeah. Stephanie says, do you think the United players have the fear of failure and that's why the tempo is so slow? I don't know. I don't know what the problem is with Manchester United, to be honest. I think it is just pressure. I think when you look through our squad, right, we don't really have any like serial winners when you actually properly think about it. De Ligt won some stuff. Bruno's not really won much. Dallow's not won much. Maguire's not won much. Onana hasn't. Lenny Yoro hasn't. Mazraoui's won some stuff. Ugate's not won much. Xerxes hasn't. Højlund's won nothing. Eriksen's won some stuff, but not a lot. Like, we don't have any seasoned winners in our first team. When you actually think about it, you know, when you really, really think about it, and you compare it with, the other top clubs around Europe, they've got players who've won every trophy under the sun. I mean, the only player who we can really say is like that is Casemiro, and he's obviously past it. But every other player in our squad thinks they have the ability of, I don't know, a world-class player, and they're being paid to be a world-class player, but really they don't have that. But yeah, that's my take on that. Dean says, what about Xerxes as a false nine? Yeah, I mean, that's another alternative. I think the point I was trying to make is I just think Højlund should sit out this match. Maybe he'd be better as an impact sub. You know, maybe that's something we should try. I think just blindly starting him every single game, you know, is not great. Lightning says, I'm pretty sure you missed some league title winners there. Who? What's Onana won? Let's have a look what Onana's won. We can go through this really quickly. So Onana is 29 years of age, okay? In his whole career, the best thing that Onana has won in his whole career is the Dutch League, which was in 2020 and 2018. I wouldn't call that a seasoned winner, would you? Move over to Maguire. I'm happy to have this conversation because this is something I felt for a long time, that we don't have seasoned winners. Harry Maguire is 32 years of age. In his whole career, he's won one FA Cup and one Carabao Cup in 32 years. Well, in probably a 15-year playing career. De Ligt, as I said, has won lots of stuff, so I'm not going to mention him because he was the captain of Ajax at the age of 19. Like, he has experience. Lenny Yoro has literally not won a single trophy in his whole career. If you go on Transfer Market, and not one. Diogo Dalot will only have won what he's won at Manchester United, which is not going to be very much. He's won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Do you see where I'm going with this? So far, the spine of our team, the best trophy that between Dalot, Maguire, Onana and Lenny Yoro, the only one of those players who's won a league title is Onana, and that was for Ajax like 5 years ago. Right? Then you move over to Bruno Fernandes, the club captain, the player that everybody should look up to. Bruno is 30 years of age. He's been at Manchester United for 5 years? In his whole playing career, he won the Portuguese equivalent of the Carabao Cup. He won the FA Cup, the League Cup, and the UEFA Nations League, and that's it. So most people say that the Carabao Cup isn't even worth winning. So he's won that in Portugal and England. Okay, great. He's won the FA Cup once with Manchester United last year, which some people would argue was lucky. I don't see it like that, but I'm just giving you context. It's not like we dominated in the FA Cup. We nearly got knocked out by Coventry. We had to have a last-minute winner to beat Liverpool. The Man City game, no one expected us to win. So our captain, the leading inspiration for our team, has won 4 trophies in his whole career. One of them's a Nations League, the UEFA Nations League, which is a nothing trophy. 2 of them are League Cups, Carabao Cups, whatever you want to call them. And one of them's an FA Cup, right? Move over to Manuel Ugarte. I think this is quite an important conversation to have because so many people seem to say, like, why are we the way we are? Why don't we have the confidence, all the rest of it? And I think this is why, because we don't have, like, seasoned professionals. You look at Manuel Ugarte. In his whole career, he's 23 years of age. He's been playing for, 6 or 7 years. The only trophies he's ever won was in the 2023 season, where he won the French Championship, which is the French League. He won the French Cup and the French Super Cup for PSG, who win every single trophy in France every single year anyway. So that's all he's won. He's won nothing else. You move further up the pitch. You go to Joshua Zirkzee. I know Zirkzee supposedly won the Champions League. He was a substitute for Bayern Munich. So he's had some experience, to be fair, but whether you would count sitting on the bench for the whole of the Champions League as winning the Champions League, I don't know. I mean, you're still there in the environment, so I'll give him that one. You move to Christian Eriksen, the other senior player, one of the only other senior players in our team. So in his whole career, Christian Eriksen won nothing for Tottenham, remember. He won the League Cup with Manchester United. He won the Dutch League, and that was 12 years ago. And he won the Serie A once with Inter Milan in 2020. So the other kind of senior player in our team has only won an FA Cup, a League Cup, a Serie A, and a Dutch League. And most of those were like a long time ago. So you get the point I'm going here, where people are like, why is our team not performing? Why do they look scared? I mean, they probably are scared, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. Joseph says, do you think De Ligt would be a better captain? Not really, I don't think. I don't think we have any captains, really. I think Martinez would have been a good captain, but he's just injured all the time. I'm just looking at the team that started against Fulham the other day. I honestly couldn't pick one of them as a captain. If we had to pick a new captain today out of that starting 11, I mean, I probably would pick Bruno because there's no one else. Or maybe De Ligt, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, it depends on what your criteria is. De Ligt's won a lot more than Bruno Fernandes in his career. If you're doing it by trophies, then yeah, maybe he should be. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at a few more comments before I wrap up the video. Maup says Bruno has wasted his career with us. It depends, doesn't it? Because, again, going back to my point, it wasn't like Bruno Fernandes was a serial winner before he came to Manchester United. It's not like I don't think saying ruining his career is fair, because before he came to Manchester United, the only trophies he'd ever won was the Portuguese League Cup, and that was it. And that was the season before he joined Manchester United. So we signed him when he was 24, and he'd won 1 trophy in his whole career. He's come to Manchester United and he's won 2 trophies. So I would actually argue that Bruno coming to Manchester United has made his career. I get the point you're making that if he went to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, he would have won more in that time. But it wasn't like he was a seasoned winner before that, really. And that's the point I'm making, that a lot of the players we seem to sign aren't seasoned winners. They might have talent, but they maybe don't have the right mentality. You know, it's not like they've won 20 trophies at the age of 25. Maybe not 20, that's unrealistic. Say 5 even. 5 trophies at the age of 25. I mean, let's have another look at another example. Like say like Garnacho, right? He's 19. And he's already won a fair amount of stuff, hasn't he? So like he probably is starting to instill that winning mentality, that desire to win. Let's have a look. So Garnacho has won. Yeah, he's won the Copa America. He's won the FA Cup and the League Cup. So you could argue that Garnacho at the age of 19 has achieved more than Bruno Fernandes has at the age of 32. You could argue that Garnacho at the age of 19 has achieved more than Maguire has at the age of 32. Do you know what I mean? Because he probably has. But anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, I think. Actually, no, we need to talk about this Argentinian Wonderkid, don't we? So make of this what you will. There's a story that's come out this morning saying that Manchester United are in negotiations with Rosario Central. The journalist that put this out is the same journalist who put out the story about Diego Leon, the player we've signed. I think he's a left back. And he's reporting that apparently Man United are in talks with Rosario Central, which is an Argentinian first division team, to sign centre-back Juan Jimenez. I've not heard of him. He's 18 years of age. Let's have a little look. See if I can get some information on him. Juan Jimenez can play as a CDM or a centre-back. I mean, he's just one for the future, really. His contract expires in December this year. So I think Man United obviously think they can get themselves a bit of a deal here. I'll be honest, I'd never heard of him until this morning. So don't get too excited about it. But yeah, most people are saying that he's some sort of wonder kid. But they always say that, don't they? So yeah. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up the video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show today. I've got a shaky pen, which I've been playing with, so I apologise if that's annoying. Make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. I'll be back after the game tonight. Hopefully we've won. Hopefully the mood is positive. So yeah, have a great day, everybody. Enjoy whatever you're doing. I'll speak to you all later. I burnt my head a bit yesterday. Look at my head.